Characters wanted. Hello. Seeking main characters. Hello. Welcome to the live. Seeking main characters. Hello, Net and YouTube. You want to come up with some main characters for us this time? You're a mailman, aren't you? Okay. Seeking main characters. Seeking main characters for the live, for the Church of Judas, for the Fairy Liberation Front, and the Pillar Revolution. Seeking main characters for the chat. So, last time we had some pretty good luck with this. We found 2 or 3 main characters. This time, we shall see. Maybe we'll shed a little light for a little while and see how it goes. Seeking main characters for the chat. You can apply for main character status with a comment in the chat. Reactions are also appreciated. So, seeking a main character in the chat that we can talk to about things. In the meantime, the topic has been vampires in love. I don't know. I think I might not do it. I might wait. This candle's not in the best place, um, wax-wise. But we'll wait for the applications in the chat. There's something spooky going on, though, so it's just sounds, I guess. Is anything ever just sounds? There was something spooky going on for a minute there. Okay. I think everything's going to be okay, though. We're still looking for the main character in the chat. Vampire love was the topic because of the sexuality of vampires, the sexiness of vampires, the way vampires are the monsters that everybody cheers for. Vampires are what everybody wants. And if it's a vampire, then it has like an excuse or a reason. It's like an outsider to the system that says sex is bad. I mean, there's other characters that defy sex is bad. There's other types of characters. For these characters, sex is good. But it's for these characters. So I think vampires are good examples. Jesus is a good example, but only if you understand Jesus. So vampires are a good example that everybody understands. Nobody has a problem with understanding that vampires are into sex. Vampires are sexy and sexual, and that's okay for vampires. Now, if you can say that that's okay for Jesus too, it really starts to be okay for everybody. And that's what changes things up. And that's the type of change that we need. These are the change that we need now. So, I told some people in the last live that I'd be coming back live. Sometimes when I say that I lie, or I just go to sleep or something instead. This time, not so much, because here I am. But nobody's found the live yet, which is fine. I am still seeking that main character. Somebody with the main character energy. I'd love to meet somebody. And I did meet somebody. Not too many. I think she's asleep now, but I did meet somebody not too long ago. And that's been significant. Um, and it's significant to remind people that you can meet people on the internet, even on YouTube. Now, I know there's certain things that make that less than desirable if this was our first encounter. But I couldn't resist the Milkman had. I couldn't resist this theme of seeking out a main character because last time the people we got were pretty good. I mean, they were great. They were great main characters. And then we got, the usual too. But it made me think, if that's the focus, let's see if this candle's got enough power yet. Probably not. If that's the focus, then it's going to improve the the quality of the conversation, because there isn't really any reason to narrow the um, possibilities with somebody playing a role, somebody who's not, the protagonist. So, protagonists wanted, protagonists preferred. Everybody's welcome, protagonist preferred. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. I mean, it's better than having a problem. But protagonist preferred. Everyone's welcome. Protagonist preferred. We'll talk about vampire love, and we'll talk about sex and stuff. Okay. Crystal Lynn Dawn, Day Chief, is back. Hello again. Nice to see you again. Thank you for returning. I was hoping that we could pick up where we left off, so I won't have to go through all the introductions and stuff. I did add a hat. I'm not really a fan of horror. I do feel like I'm carrying this mystery. It's like a murder mystery, and it makes me think that all the people who are all this interested in murder mysteries for all these recent years have this deep murder mystery that the Judas murder mystery that we were actually discussing at the end of the live last time, that nobody's interested in, or nobody really knows about or thinks about as a mystery. And all these people are tuned to mystery minded, like, oh, we're going to solve the mysteries. We're going to be the ones who solve the mystery. Everybody loves that shit. So why not for Jesus and Judas? Let's talk about vampires and Jesus and the vine. Did you say the vine or the wine? Putting grapes back on the vine. Several times I've seen the evening slide away, watching the lines taking over from the fading day. Changing water into wine. Several times I've seen the evening slide away, watching the lines taking over from the fading day. Putting grapes back on the vine. Sorry, there's a cat. The cat's headbutting. When I try to do things, the cat is here headbutting. Okay, let me read the comments. Let's talk about vampires and Jesus and the vine. I feel like I should just pin that comment because that's very... But can I pin it? The problem is the cat headbutts me, and I could accidentally do an action that I don't want. Jesus said, in his own words, he would not drink from the vine until his return. So how does that vine get picked? And I said, vine, like a tree branch. I was not familiar with this statement whatsoever. So it's news to me, but let me process it and respond. Jesus said, in his own words, he would not drink from the vine until his return. So how does that vine get picked? I don't know what you mean by how does that vine get picked. I mean, somebody else can drink from it, right? Or, saying, how does it get picked when he does return? Then he does drink from the vine? and vine is like a tree branch, like what produces grapes. Can you give me a little more information? Does it have to do with vampires too? Many or few toppings. The YouTube questionnaire is obsessed with food. I just do these things for fun. They wanted to know many or few toppings. I feel like it must be a robot, you know, there's a robot deciding these questions. And so why is the robot so obsessed with food? They're like 90% of the time they're questions about food. And isn't that what many or few toppings means? It's something about food? Anyway, I guess I'll leave it up for a minute. It's nice and green. If someone else drinks from the vine, and yes, it does have to do with vampires. It said vine like a tree branch. If someone else drinks from the vine. Jesus said in his own words he would not drink from the vine until his return. I'm still a little perplexed. And what does it have to do with vampires? Is the vine like a bloodline? Like a vampire connectivity to a head vampire? Again, main characters sought. Main characters, head vampires sought. Just for conversation. No one's tracking you. If someone else drinks from the vine, isn't that a spiritual sin of some sort? Like a bit rusty here. Like it's a bloodline, exactly. I don't know. See, this is the first I've ever heard about this concept of Jesus won't drink from the vine until his return. And didn't he return? Till his second return? Is that the notion? And what does it have to do with vampires? I think we can speak plainly here. It's just the two of us and one other person. And anybody who watches this in the future. But again, these are just things that people say, you know. Whether or not vampires or Jesus exist, there's been plenty of things people say about them. And we're just talking about the things that people have said. Well, if you read the Bible, the vine is mentioned over and over. Yeah, but what does that have to do with vampires? And is the vine wine? Is wine like the juice or the fruit of the vine? You said it's a spiritual sin of some sort for someone else to drink of the vine? This sounds very much like eating the fruit. Like Adam and Eve eating the fruit. Like the sin of eating the fruit. Getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden for eating fruit. Which Ann Lee, apparently, because the two movies I saw yesterday were Dracula and Ann Lee. It's part of the reason for my vampire theme. But Ann Lee had a vision which for her resulted in her believing in celibacy, which is kind of the opposite of going the vampire route. The vampire route is believing in sex. I've heard Mumford and Sons. Yeah, I saw the movie The Testament of Ann Lee, and it's a really good movie. It was really a pretty awesome movie. It's like white people sinners. But anyway, so she goes one way with it, against sex. Vampires go the other way with it, pro-sex. And to me, they're right. Like, Jesus is pro-sex. So there's one interesting thing that I felt about people who have, verifiably religious, divine inspiration experiences, but still come away with it, with this patriarchal anti-sex, this fascist mentality, the corruption of patriarchy in Christianity. And Ann Lee qualifies for that, and so does Public Universal Friend, and probably hundreds and thousands of others. What about Jackie Chan? Hold on, what about Jackie Chan? You have to inform me a little more. because I have my own intuitions and impressions or something of Jackie Chan, but I need to know what you're talking about. But yes, let's talk about Jackie Chan. You're a good main character. Thanks for driving the conversation. No, it's hard to do with thumbs typing. A good pilot? What does that mean? Did he fly planes? Is that the only meaning of pilot? I'm not sure what that means. Like, I need more information, and you're giving me a little less information. No, I mean, you're giving me more information, but it wasn't the information I was expecting. And what do vampires have to do with this vine? Ina Garcia says, do you light the candles and recite the verse that's on it? I haven't this time. The verse that's on this one's is, Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. Is that what you would call a verse? Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. Thanks, Yesenia. Thanks for asking. This is from the Mother Cabrini Shrine, where there's a miraculous spring. Does the flame get bigger when you read it? No, the flame gets bigger occasionally. Here. I also have Mother Cabrini's candle here, but it's not currently lit. But there she is. But without the heart of Mary, then to be honest, Jesus' heart does not mean nothing. Was all on the order of the cross. That's beautiful. It's very interesting. It's also interesting that both of you commented at the time that YouTube said there was no one here. Sometimes, when you read the candle, the flame or something gets bigger. I've seen it happen before. I feel like it means it's working. Well, yeah, you'll see lots of things working. That's the point of this live, is to get things working, to talk to people that know, love, and know what we're talking about. The Sacred Heart of Jesus. Jesus is love, and it's like the love of love. And what you just said about without the heart of Mary, because who was Jesus in love with? You know, who gets left out? By leaving out Mary, by leaving out the goddess, by leaving out love and sex, essentially, you've really left out all of it. You've left out the most important parts. For this live, we had a flame without a spark because we left it burning from the last live. I forgot the question, but thank you. Thank y'all for being here and talking with me. Job had 9 children. Ann Lee had 4 children, but they all died as babies. Your candle had a picture of Barry Manilow. I've got one that had a picture of Lady Gaga, but it broke. I'll show it to you because I was going to do something to fix it someday. This is the Lady Gaga Alejandro candle. But that's okay. Do you have any candle that have burned out completely to the bottom? No, why do you ask? This one hasn't burned very far at all. I mean, I have tea light candles that have burned to the bottom. I didn't save them. Your candle has a picture of Captain and Tennille for real? Oh, that's cool. I've just got these candles with people on them that I'm aware of. I probably have some more around the house somewhere, but this one's a statue of Jesus on the top of the Mother Cabrini shrine, and this is Mother Cabrini herself. She's the patron saint of immigrants. I feel like I should light her candle because her candle is significantly brighter than this one. This one gets brighter on occasion. If y'all want to make one of those occasions, we can just do that, though. Make a special occasion. Like you were saying, when spiritual things connect, then it builds that magic for things like the candle. What? You also have a candle with Mark Carney and Mr. Dressup? I don't know who Mr. Dressup is. I think Mark Carney is your cool Canadian PM. I have a candle business. No pictures on them. Wow. This is very interesting. Nice to meet you, Eyes Open 59. And nice to meet you both as well. Crystal Lynn, I think we just met in the last live. So thanks for coming back. And Yesenia, I think we just met for the first time right now. So thanks for sticking around. Yeah, it was Lady Gaga's candle for her Alejandro song way back in the day. And I still have it because I was going to try to repair it after it broke, and then it broke more. But you know, that's how those things go. There's a cat on the way. Yeah, thanks. It was nice talking with you. I never did get what you were asking about the vampires. No, that's why I wanted to fix it. But it's been disappointing. Again, like people can have divine inspiration and then just be wrong about things. Like Ann Lee and the Public Universal Friend were both had divine inspiration that helped them transcend gender roles. But then they were still wrong about sexuality and sex. And it's just kind of like, well, that's how deep that stuff goes. That's how deep those lies go. Versus Saint Teresa Urea. Saint Teresa Urea also obviously had divine inspiration, visions, gifts, healing, all this stuff. But then she got married, like she wasn't against sex. So it just goes to show that you can have divine inspiration and you can then become anti-sex, as some people do, and attribute that to Jesus, even though I think that's wrong. Or you can have divine inspiration and still be a sexual person. Just like, you know, most preachers and priests and stuff these days have sex. It's just the Catholic ones aren't supposed to, and some of them don't. And even though that's the case for, again, most preachers, most religious leaders within Christianity are, not forbidden from having sex like they are in the Catholic Church. As far as I know, the vast majority of them are not forbidden. But sex is still forbidden. Sex is still seen as bad. It's still, one of the deep flaws or the fundamental mistake of Christianity, or what Christianity has been like so far. There's been this trap for bad people. And there's been good people in it too, obviously. But there's been bad people who take advantage of it, mislead people, use the church for wars and empires and all these evil things. But Judas didn't have anything to do with that. I had a candle, and I used to recite the verse. I swear, every time I would recite the verse, I would see the flame get bigger, and he would even crack by the time the candle burned out the candle. Oh yeah, if it burned all the way and it would crack it. So this one is, the Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in you. Isn't that the verse for this candle? The Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in you. Let me double check. Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. So who is the Sacred Heart of Jesus? Is that Mary? Is that another way of saying Mary? Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. Because thee is a person, right? Anyway, I think you could call it the Church of Mary. I don't know that that's stealing the name from anybody. I don't know that anybody else is the Church of Mary. So, I think if you, hello, I think if you do the Church of Mary, if you think about the Church of Mary being the original church that got left or abandoned or lost, or the mystical church, the real mystical church when the other ones were false and fake or wrong. I'm doing well. How are you? Then I'd say the Church of Judas replacing Christianity is, the return to the Church of Mary, or the revealing of the Church of Mary, the mystical church that's always been there, but that hasn't been allowed to be the church within any of the existing churches, which are all fundamentally flawed by, for one, those disciples turning on Mary, and for two, they're being against sex, like that being one of their fundamental mistakes that carried through at least from some point, a few hundred, I would say it took at most a few hundred years, maybe 1,000 years, for it to be that way. Maybe it was always that way. I think that was, sex shame was something that was probably already rampant in the culture, and therefore picked up by the people, trying to exhibit Jesus' teachings, but still trying to fit into the culture, even though those things could be radically different and in opposition to each other. And then that's the way it gets corrupt. Whoops, that's the way the patriarchy wins. So that's where the patriarchy creeps in and messes up the church. Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. So, back to the lecture at hand. Ooh. We might not do a full live. Usually I do lives for about an hour, which means we're about halfway through. But I might not do the full live this time. Just because it is already late. I'm already sleepy. And I had crazy dreams last night, so I kind of want to give myself a chance to have crazy dreams again tonight. Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, we place our trust in thee. Lost in the forest, all alone. Crow's never there, it's always the same. Run into something again and again. Hello, 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 hello. No, no, World Cup broski. I was not drinking candle wax. I was just kind of looking at it, waiting for someone to arrive in the live. So, here you are. Welcome to the live. I do remember that from The Simpsons, though. How are you? Is this your first time here? Good. Well done. A great success. Achievement unlocked. Perhaps. You sound dubious, but that's okay. We're glad you're here. We're glad to be here. We don't care. We're glad we're here. I had a dream once. I wrote a poem about it. It was something like, I had a dream where I went to heaven. It was only children there. I said, where are your parents? They said, we don't know and we don't care. We're glad we're here. What's been strange? I'm glad you're okay. Feel free to share if you like. I had a strange day yesterday. I mean, to the extent that I saw two movies that really kind of got me thinking, which is great when you see movies that get you thinking. The Testament of Anne Lee and Dracula. And then today, has been kind of relaxing. It's been fine. Well, I'm glad you're here and that everything's chill. I, of course, enjoy it when more people are here and people are like really interesting, which happens sometimes. And the fact that you're here has got me interested. I was seeking main characters to talk to, people that have some type of life, you know? And so it seems like, you had a day. I'm sorry you were psyched out, but I do think this is probably a good way to um, relax and be okay. Usually my lives are not this relaxing. I'll just put it that way. So I'm glad it's relaxing now. Oh, your mind, heart, and soul hurts. Well, let's heal your mind, heart, and soul. Is it all the evil in the world, the fascism and stuff? Is it all that stuff bothering you? Because we're gonna win, you know. We're gonna defeat all the evil. Here, I'll get the brighter candle to make my point. The brighter candle is Mother Cabrini. Your life. Well, it'll get better. Try to relax. Try to fix what you can. You'll get some good rest tonight. See how much more of a candle that is? Whoa. So, this Jesus candle is doing its best. It's just not comparable to the Mother Cabrini candle, which is glowing and bright. Dude, yeah, it'll get better. Remember to breathe. Be grateful for breathing. Gratitude is one of your best like methods and magic and stuff. Be grateful for things. Try to appreciate things. Try to like start with gratitude in your expressions and actions and stuff. And it'll get better and you'll get through it and you'll feel good. Like, dude, I didn't like it when I was married and had fights with my wife and stuff. But dude, I mean, except for the fact that I wish we weren't fighting then and now, I wish we weren't fighting. Like, I would rather have that than just not be together, you know. And I think if I had been more grateful for at least being together instead of upset about whatever I was upset about, whatever we were fighting for, then I would have had a better chance in that relationship. So that's the advice that I feel like is good advice because even though I kind of knew that, I was not able to adhere to it or start with that in my actions as much as I would have liked to have done. I was looking for main characters. Any main characters that have, um, let's see, that aren't put off by the patron saint of immigrants, Mother Cabrini, that want that don't mind talking about stuff. So it might not be for you. Yeah, it just answers your question. It might not be for you. Okay. I go about things the wrong way. Dude, I can relate to that. But I can just tell when somebody personally attacks me, and my response is always, so you say, not acceptable to them. Yeah, just remember we're all the same. Like it's this spirit, or spirit between us, and we're all the same spirit. And like being defensive, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I can totally relate to what you're saying. And again, I would say I wish I would just have accepted being wrong or being seen as wrong, even if I wasn't wrong. I wish I was able to accept that more and not be upset about seeing things from my perspective, instead of possibly being able to see other people's perspectives on stuff. Well, it's a problem when you say it's hard to find equal respect with some. I think the problem is that people don't respect themselves or don't respect you, or there's a combination of that going on. There's a little bit of that with everybody. You might be in love with somebody and then have some ways that you don't respect them or you don't respect yourself. And these are like pitfalls that you're both falling into. Like there's this cat aggressively cleaning itself from my lap right now. I kind of take that as a sign of disrespect. It might be, but I honestly can't, I don't know. You know, like if she's like aiming her butt at me, she doesn't usually do that, but occasionally she does, and I'm like, why are you doing that? And it feels like a sign of disrespect, but maybe it's something else in cat language, or maybe it's just not, so I can give the cat the benefit of the doubt, or I can jump to conclusions about the cat because it's a cat. Well, with a person, you can ask them and talk to them and stuff too, but you still end up either giving them the benefit of the doubt or jumping to conclusions all the damn time. And that's with people that you can talk to, and you don't have that excuse of saying, well, I don't know what this means in cat language. We don't know what it means in human language, but we still don't figure it out. All too often, we don't figure it out. We could figure it out instead. Sorry about the Nazis in chat. I feel like it's worth it just to go ahead and block the stupid Nazi troll. I'm sorry, let me read the rest of your comments. I just wish people would consider being more self-aware. Yeah, I guess I feel like it's a collective effort for everyone to be more self-aware. Like, I appreciate that too. Look what I have to deal with. I have like total Nazi trolls in my chat. So just having you as like a human being, or however you identify, not as a terrible troll, like, that's great. That's really good for me. I just don't understand how I am the annoying one to everybody. Well, you're not annoying me. And it's relative. I mean, I feel like I enjoy your conversation anyway, but it's also relative to stupid ass Nazis in the chat. I'm sorry for complaining and expressing. No, dude, see, this is where I feel like I can relate to you and maybe I can help you out. You sound like you jump to some negative conclusions, possibly, about yourself. You were just talking and I'm fine with what you're saying, but you jump to a negative conclusion about, oh, I've said too much or whatever. And you don't need to do that. You can be positive about yourself, and you can be positive about yourself so that when other people say things to you, you can avoid jumping to negative conclusions too. Because if that's something your mind's doing that's tricking you and pushing people away, then it's better just to try to fix that in your mind and not think negatively about yourself. Being an individual is a job itself sometimes. I'm still learning self-control. Yeah, dude, I can say this now because I got nobody making me mad. I'm not mad about anything. But dude, I'm not good at, like, when I get mad about something, I turn into anger. I turn being upset. having something upset me, I turn to anger. And anger's terrible, dude. I hate anger. It's stupid. I'm going to try not to do that in the future. But again, I wish I got better at not doing that in the past. Yeah, I feel like I lost myself and turned into somebody I'm not. From work, from your relationships, what turns you into something you're not? Or who are you really? Let's talk about that. Like either one of those, however, whichever one of those questions you wouldn't mind answering. But who are you really? I think is probably a better question. Like, or what did you lose? Like I've lost. I don't do art like I usually do. I don't do like I used to do once upon a time. I don't write or make music and stuff like I've done at certain times. Sometimes it's from doing stuff like this, posting content, making videos, but I also still have time to play like video games and stuff. I could do more of those things that I haven't done. It is in many ways my choice. Now everyone views you as somebody different. Well, that also helps. When I talk about wanting to do art, music, writing, I don't have an audience for those things really. You end up with an incidental or, slowly building audience by doing, you know, YouTube content and stuff. But having an audience, having somebody appreciate what you're doing really helps you do it. Oh, dude, yeah. Um, I mean, people also need, like, I call it Trump, Putin, and Yahoo. It's Trump, it's Putin, it's Netanyahu. People need information on how bad those guys are. And yeah, he was one of their little minions. He was like their little bishop or knight or something. Rook. He was their rook. But yeah, those guys are bad. Thank you for reminding people how bad certain people's ideas made them. I'm trying to learn how to be alone. Yeah, I think being alone sucks, personally. I don't like being alone. I think, it's fine for people that do like being alone. At the same time, I think most of us do a lot better from having people that we enjoy being around. Here, it's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. It's probably about 3 o'clock. It's probably about time to go to sleep. I would only go live for about another 10 minutes anyway, but I do enjoy being around people mostly. I think a lot of us are alone a lot more than we would choose to be if we could just choose it outright. I know I'm grateful to have people that I spend time with and hang out with, but it'd be nice to meet like somebody that was into me and we like, you know, had a physical relationship and stuff too. But we should make it better. We should make life better, both our personal lives and life in general better. I gave up on relationships. I mean, I didn't really give up on relationships. I haven't really had relationships to give up on. Yeah, I had like a long distance relationship, kind of. But that's a lot better than not having a relationship, I think. And then it makes you think, well, if I'm somewhat satisfying the desire to have a relationship by having a long distance relationship, but I want to be with somebody, like physically be with somebody, and I'm not doing that. It's kind of like wasting time on the internet, wasting time on your phone instead of meeting people somehow. Thanks for the talk. Yeah, it's been nice talking to you too. And good luck. Hope you get through this tough patch and know it gets better. And whether it's alone or with somebody different or with the people you're with, but it gets better with them, it gets better. And it'll keep getting better. We can keep making it better. So thanks for me. You made it better for me. So I just have these, like, as you saw earlier, I think you were in here. That was this live earlier where some stupid troll came in. Yeah, stupid troll came in. So, like, you really made my life better than it often is. Yeah, I'm probably going to sleep right after this. So, hope you have sweet dreams. Have a good rest of your day when you wake up again. And good luck with everything. Just be grateful. Don't take things personally. Um, just try to feel good about it because you seem like a good person and you don't want to hurt yourself with defensiveness when maybe other people aren't really trying to hurt you. Maybe you end up being the one hurting yourself if you misunderstand people or take things too personally. Much love. Thank you. Nice to meet you. You might enjoy my content. If you do, leave a comment. We'll stay in touch. Yeah, I can relate to you. So I'm only telling you what I would tell myself. If I could listen to myself, like, calm down, don't be upset. Be responsible for your own not being upset instead of saying that somebody made me upset. Just be like, I got upset over that and I didn't have to. I could choose something different or take some time and see that they didn't mean it the way I was afraid they meant it. Something like that. And thanks for being here. Thanks for talking with me. That was a great live. We really only talked to Word Up Broski, but it was good talking to Word Up Broski. Um, I feel like it helped me out to think about things like that, and hopefully that helped him out, and he'll heal from it being a difficult life sometimes. But it's going to get better. We're going to make it better for ourselves and for everyone. So, thank y'all for being here. If you want to talk about something else for the last 2 or 5 minutes, we can. Or else I'm probably going to shut down the live because I'm pretty sleepy. And this is my second hour of live tonight, and I probably shouldn't do that. I probably should say, hey, the fact that an hour is my limit is probably a pretty good limit. But anyway, I'm glad we did this, though. I'm glad we did a second live. I just, yeah. It makes me feel like my own advice is to not spend so much time online, posting things like this, and try to meet people in real life. Oh, nice to see you again, Yesenia. Thanks for coming back. And the last person I met that I was kind of trying to have a relationship with was online, was in, I mean, I still talk with her, but we're still maybe trying to have a relationship, but I can't even tell because it's online or, on the phone, which is great. It's better than nothing. But sometimes it makes you feel like you're just keeping them from having more of the real relationship they really want to have, and then it's keeping you from realizing, you can go out and meet somebody, or try to meet somebody, so you can actually see in person. So anyway, thank y'all for being here. I think I need to take my own advice and try to do more things or something. I don't know. I guess you could meet somebody online and they just wouldn't live so far away. So, anyway, I do believe in love and the goddess and magic and things. I do believe that people, meet for. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Let's do the candle verse. This one is Mother Cabrini. It's a little bit longer. Beloved spouse of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, intercede for us all that the favor. Let's see. I was going to see if we could do the thing. Yeah, I'll try it like this. Beloved spouse of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, intercede for us that the favor we now ask may be granted. Beloved spouse of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, intercede for us that the favor we now ask may be granted. And of course, the favor is the liberation of people from the evil tyrants. So, and she's the one to do it. She's the patron saint of immigrants. So liberating people from the evil tyrants is kind of her thing. Mother Frances Xavier Cabrini. Isn't she pretty? And the way she glows. She has this beautiful shrine outside of where I live, down the street. We go visit sometimes. So we wish for all the immigrants to have peace and freedom and the end of the tyranny that tries to stop them. And we pray through the Sacred Heart of Jesus, through Mother Cabrini, the spouse of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Yes, she's the patron saint of all immigrants. She's Mother Cabrini. She was the patron saint of Italian immigrants, and then she became the patron saint of all immigrants. And she came to America and saved a lot of immigrant communities in New York, I think, mostly. She also went to Mexico, I think. And she went back and forth from Italy to America like 27 times, 47, I think 27 times at least. But yeah. Thanks for listening. I'll probably shut down the live because we've been at about an hour, but if you want to comment on my content, we can stay in touch. And it was really nice talking with you. And I hope you have sweet dreams and wish me luck. I'm going to have some dreams here in a minute because I'm pretty tired. So it was nice to meet you, Yesenia, and I hope we'll talk again soon. But thanks for talking with me. And Goddess bless you, Mary bless you, Mary bless you, Mary bless you, Jesus bless you, Judas bless you, I bless you. Bless yourself. I'll see you next time. And thanks for talking with me about Mother Cabrini. Oh yeah, Mother Cabrini bless you. And bless us all by saving these immigrants from the evil tyrants. Bless you. Thanks, Yesenia. Sweet dreams.